Hey guys, by the time you see this, I'll already be on stage at the Rock in the Ruins Festival here in Pennsylvania, where I'll be performing an awful lot of really cool illusions. Check out my Magic Mondays to see that. But on this week's Off the Cuff, I thought we would continue in our little theme that we have going of books on handcuffs, because again, last week it rained, couldn't get out to the antique places, so nothing. Anyway, and really I didn't see anything that I was online or anything that I could afford. Anyway, I could never possibly go through everything I own that has a picture or an article about a handcuff in it, be it a book, magazine, journal, or whatever. It would just, this video would last longer than my lifespan. But what I can do is offer you a little selection, and hopefully I'll cover all the bases for different levels of collecting, okay? So last time we looked at some of, books on Houdini and stuff like that, and some of the things on my wish list, and of course the fantastic handcuff annuals. And this one is obviously geared towards magicians. If you're not into that, that's okay. It doesn't matter why you collect handcuffs. Whether you're, just in the locks or whatever. Which reminds me, I have to redo my membership to the American Lock Collectors Association. If you're not a member, please join up now. It's really cool. But anyway, one of the first books most magicians get is this, The Modern Handcuff Secrets for Magicians by Dick Norman. Now, I also have a lot of the original locksmith magazines that these things appeared in, because he wrote a series of articles for locksmiths in the 50s or 60s, I forget, but it's really neat because in the back he also advertised, wanted old handcuffs. If they're just laying around your shop, send them to me for free. I'm working on a book. And, he did a series of articles for the locksmithing community, not for magicians. And a lot of that information is in here. So even though he also has a ton of patents. There's been a lot of people that publish lists of handcuff patents, and by all means, get them. But, unless you actually have, like, pictures or an idea, it's hard to tell. For example, the Palmer, you would never know that that's a Palmer handcuff just by looking at it, by this drawing. Just check out what a Palmer looks like, and you'll agree with me, I'm sure. It's just the picture, the hand drawing doesn't do it justice, the pen and ink. So, but it does give you the numbers so you can look things up. The thing about this is it's like a good beginner book because it shows the workings of some handcuffs, the inner workings and whatever. And it identifies a bunch. It's just a good source of information, especially in the back where it shows all the different cuffs that are available. And if you get this, you probably have another booklet or two that you can cross-reference, and it even lists stuff in the back that you can order that, pretty much along the same lines. So, but anyway, pretty much, if you don't have this already, by all means get one. I have several copies of different editions because, I'm the book guy, so that's what I do. Okay. So that's something for like a beginner-ish. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit more advanced just because of the amazing amount of material this covers. And I know you're going to be upset, but this is the condition that this book arrived in, and I knew what condition it was in, and it was the only copy I've been able to get. But this is A Guidebook to Handcuffs and Other Restraints of the World by Alex Nichols. This thing's amazing. And it's got a bit of a problem on the cover, but that's okay because the inside's great. And then he came out with volume 2, and again, a little bit iffy on the cover, but this is my reading copy because I have 2 other copies of volume 2. And then I'll show you also this little booklet that he put out, which is really cool. I keep this, since it's so small, in the archival protective sleeves. But anyway, and again, I'm not going to go through the whole book, but this is really neat because he does a really scholarly thing on the history of restraints, especially like the Roman dug ones. And, you know, it goes way back to the beginning, which is really cool. And then he goes into the bilbos, the different, through the ages, the medieval, and then we get into the mouth-watering checklists that, unfortunately, oh, look at that. Oh, I want them so bad. Plugs on a chain, leg irons. Ah. But anyway, and of course he's got, that's a little thing that they use in the UK for scale and measurement. I think it's inches. Anyway, but this thing is amazing, and he uses photos of cuffs from a variety of people's collections. Unfortunately, this came out before I even, I didn't. And you just see, oh look, there's the Palmer. See what I mean? That didn't look anything like the drawing. But this is just a gold mine of info, and the photos are fantastic. It goes on and on and on. And there was so much information in this guy's brain that he put out part 2. And this is really cool too, because this has all kinds of stuff. And he also talks about how to spot fakes. And it's pretty much like a written handcuffs.org. This is just phenomenal. The problem is these books are very hard to find. For some reason, like I told you I have 3 copies of Volume 2, and the only reason I have 3 copies of Volume 2 is because whenever I would see one at a reasonable price, bang, I would be on it and just snag it, because you never know, you know what I mean? Now I have reading copies, so, and it's just, he goes into patents and old brochures, everything. Really cool. Even the modern stuff that, people use for, role playing and like 50 Shades of Yay. And now we finally come to this last one. Now, the only reason that I'm suggesting even at all that these are like advanced is because of their rarity and the difficulty it is to come across these. If the situation or if it presents itself that you can get a copy of this either on an online auction or however, trust me, grab it. You will not be disappointed. And my only regret is that these aren't autographed. I really wish that I would have had a chance to have him autograph this stuff, but alas, it didn't happen. And then this is his little booklet. This was put out in '97. And it's got some of the same info, as the other 2. And it's just, oh, here we go. Look familiar? Hey! The best way to describe this would be a Reader's Digest condensed version of the other 2, because he covers a lot of the same material with a lot of the same photos. But, it's a handy little guidebook to have. And this is a brief history and survey, yeah, so. And you know what else is really cool? He provides bibliographies. So that also provides me with a checklist of other books, and of other resources that are out there to hunt down at flea markets. You'd be surprised. I think I even found one of these at a yard sale or something. I think it was like an ex-cop or something. I don't even know, but it was wild. I found them in the weirdest of places. Okay, so that does it for me talking today. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Off the Cuff, and I can't wait to get my hands on another pair of actual cuffs. People are feeling generous. They can always send me boxes and boxes of them. That would be okay. I wouldn't complain about that. You would never hear me, be upset. Kind of nice, actually, if that would happen. But anyway. And don't forget, coming up right now is some scenes from the library. I'm going to go through the rest of the stuff that I have and just pick out some odds and ends to show you guys. And I hope you enjoy it. And at least, if nothing else, you get an idea of what's out there. And by all means, if you have something that I don't, leave it in the comments or send it to me. Hey. All right, everybody. We will see you next time.